How's the rehab going?
It's going well. Yeah, getting in when I can, for sure.
All right, go over how you did it.
Well, the staff basketball game, went after a couple balls here and there, banged my knee on the floor, and then the straw that broke the camel's back was landing after a rebound. And I'm old and unathletic anyway, so that's when I did it. So
Is it ACL?
ACL meniscus, yeah, I have my meniscus worked on already, and I'm going to wait to do my ACL essentially whenever at this point. So
what's the moral of
cross
this
that
story?
bridge when we get to it. Know your limits, essentially. Yeah.
Is that what you teach your players to do?
Did they get grief from your linebackers?
No. So yeah, it's been good. I've been in the training room a ton, so that's been a lot of fun. Just being with the guys more than normal because I'm down there getting, up because it happened May 30th. So 2 or 3 times a day down there with those guys, throughout was good. So see those guys in a different light, and then obviously they're seeing me as well, and had the ability to relate with them. Relate with a couple of them with specific injury a little bit.
Probably
so
Bobby.
appreciate him a little bit. Yeah. Bobby's been through a couple of those deals. So yeah.
You're up in the press box anyway during games, right?
I am. Yeah. I just
Okay.
hope I can get back down. You know what I mean? Yeah.
With your linebackers, especially that Sam spot, I know there's been a lot of talk about Will and Chandler. What have you seen from those two in their second fall camp?
Yeah, well, we've got 3 upper class guys there right now, which would be Will, would be Chandler, and be Jateris. So those 3 guys are all really about equal reps, working them all in with a bunch of different groups. So they all 3 have a little bit of different skill set. Jateris is a guy that's played for us in the secondary and has been on a ton of special teams, so he has more experience, obviously, in games overall, clear cut out that way. But they're all 3 learning still and working really hard.
With the ways they're different, do you also have to make sure teams don't say, "Oh, he's in there"? They might try to do this, like with Will. Maybe
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Will's obviously has a size advantage over the other 2. So, but I don't think we would get to that point, really, to be honest with you. We're working all 3 of those guys and all the same calls and different things we're doing, so they've all got to learn it and be able to do all the stuff we're doing for sure.
How is Chandler unique?
He can really run. He's 220 as well, and so he's not far off Will weight-wise. He can flat run. He played in the last 4 games on special teams last year, ran down on the kickoff, and played on the punt return team in the bowl game as well. So he's got some good experience that way too. But like I told him yesterday, it's a different deal when there's Jack Trice is full and we're rolling out here for the opener than when you're over at the Field of Dreams and just the music's playing. You know what I mean? So that's really personally the part right now that makes me a little edgy at this point. But we've got a few days left before we kick it off. So hopefully we can find a guy that can help us.
How has Marcel continued to enhance his presence in the position room, especially with those younger guys, and being kind of a resource since he's been through a lot of this?
Sure. Well, he did a great job. He did a great job last year with Mike. Obviously, he's a calming presence for those younger guys because he's a great human being. He's been a really good leader for us all through the summer. With Coach Veidt as well, he was a great leader. He sharpened his game because he really took the summer to study. And things are, he's anticipating better, so things are happening slower for him, and he's reacting faster to things. I think that part of it gives him the chance to help guys on the field before the ball is snapped as well, and that's really what we need from him.
What are they learning from Joel?
Well, as
If anything.
Sure, as we all know, and Joel's doing a great job for us. As we all know, Joel had the ability to have others rise to the occasion that were playing around him and get the best out of them. And he's doing a really good job with not just the younger guys, but the 3 young guys that are trying to figure out the same position right now, the 3 older guys in that spot. By visiting with them, by looking at their notes for them, trying to help them organize those things, by answering questions and things like that. He's been probably a calming force in some ways, and a guy that obviously was in the line of fire a little bit for us too, and can help them in some ways.
Coach Campbell said down in Dallas that he felt like he had 4 starting linebackers when you factor in Hummel and advance. What does it do
Yeah.
for you when you have
Yeah.
that depth? I mean, how much is that? You had it a little bit last year.
We
but
did.
more so
We
this year.
did. For the most part, and maybe every game but a couple, we played 6 or 7 guys, you know. Obviously, Bobby got hurt early, so that knocked him out. But we're going to need as many as we can get. So that's really our goal, to build the biggest depth we can build there, because we're going to need them all. And then hopefully then down the stretch, as we all know, when you get into November, when we've, you know, when things are coming down to the end, that we're as healthy as we can be and we're all ready to go. But that's really, we hope we're not missing a beat. Hey, you know, Orion's in at Mike and Mike is out. Jake's in at Will and Marcel's out, which is what we did a lot of times last year. It didn't really matter the situation. We were putting those guys in and they were playing in big moments.
You've had a tradition of having some great leaders at that position group.
Right.
I know Marcel kind of became a co-leader last year.
Right.
How's Mike? Only a sophomore, true sophomore.
Yep.
Are you seeing some of that in him too, as he wants to take his game to the next step?
He does, and I think most importantly for Mike, he's got to focus on having a better sophomore year than he did a freshman year. Marcel is certainly our leader in there. Bobby McMillan does a great job with Mike and Orion both. Orion helped Mike a lot last year, so we've got a unique group that way. But Mike really needs to focus on his position and focus on having a better sophomore year than a freshman year. That's really what Mike should do. I think he's doing that.
Through the spring and so far fall camp, can you tell the difference with Mike's added weight, him getting off blockers and stuff? Or is it
I think not necessarily weight, but he's a stronger guy. He obviously is a year into the defense, so his anticipation level is better than it was this time a year ago. It's not, I'm trying to figure out everything we're doing and what is this offensive play I've never seen before. So I think he's able to play better simply because of that, but he is a stronger guy than certainly he was a year ago for sure physically.
And then with Eric and Cole,
Uh-huh.
I mean, you guys have always played your linebackers with that redshirt rule. Are they physical enough to maybe be using that redshirt rule?
They are. They're both physical guys for sure. They're certainly learning. We're doing a lot of special team stuff as we work through camp. Those guys have been involved in all those drills, and that's really this whole camp. We're trying to evaluate our best guys on special teams as well. So we haven't quite gotten to that point yet, but we're trying to sort all those things out for sure. But if they're ready to go on special teams, we'll certainly let them do it.
Were there any areas you wanted to see Jake improve from last year, and if so, has he done so?
I think really Jake works really hard. Jake puts a lot of pressure on himself at times, and I think that's Jake's biggest thing. He needs to relax for sure, which we've talked about a ton with him. And Jake's also learning all 3 positions because, as he knows, the next best guy will go in there. So we've moved guys around a little bit too from their normal spots, and hopes that we can even build depth beyond what we're doing now. Yeah.